Okay, here we have the iron powder mill. We're introducing the clover and water at this end. Steady drip. Got our clover going in here. This is our raw clover with buckhorn in it. We're introducing iron powder. There's our buckhorn getting sticky down there. Water being dripped in. About a steady drip, not a steady pour. And our buckhorn gets pasty and iron powder is introduced here. Then proceeds over to here and heads up this 8-inch tube where it mixes. When you first start out, it takes 20 minutes to get to the top of this tube before we will introduce the magnets and the shaker and remove the buckhorn from the system. This is a lightly contaminated batch of clover, so we're anticipating being able to reclaim a lot of our powder. We did a batch of 25 bushel and took 100 pounds of iron powder, but we had a high contamination of buckhorn. Literally got 50 or 60 pounds of pure buckhorn metal coated out of there. Pretty simple to run, just got to kind of watch it. If you install this permanently, you would set up a few fail-safe measures and it wouldn't require as much watching or care. This is our iron powder here. I don't know if you can see it or not. This is what we're using. Finely ground, it's just like baby powder, except it's iron. In a hopper right here above the little Centron vibrator, we have a variable control right there. And just got to keep it full. It says only use about 1/3 pound of powder to 100 pounds of seed. Give you some more video of the seed mixing. You can kind of judge by how it's sticking to the auger, how you're doing with your water content. We get down here where the iron powder is introduced. You can see that it's not sticking too much, so we got a pretty good consistency. If it was covered all the way to here, we'd have too much water. But as you can see towards the back, it's sticky. Then as it moves forward, it gets unsticky. And your seed is coated then, and your iron powder will begin to adhere to the seeds that get sticky, or your buckhorn. And then your mixing starts taking place right here as it heads up the tube. This crams it in there, and the tube is serrated plates, and continues a mixing action all the way up until the seeds are properly coated. This is the gearbox and shaft that goes down the auger there, mixing chamber. Then we're going to proceed right into this hopper. We'll get pictures of it working. It takes 20 minutes from start to get to here. That's how thorough it mixes. And then you would, when you clean out the machine, you have to clean out the auger and dip it into here to finish the job. That's part of cleaning it out. If you had a continuous batch, you just keep moving on until you're done. And here's a top view of the magnets. We will get pictures of seed cascading over those, and so on. This is the mixing tube. It takes it up towards the ceiling. Got a motor up there. And that's where the clover is climbing up right now. Then it will be introduced into this hopper, and this machine will be started, and the magnets or the red drums, seed will cascade over those, and will become the magnetized seed will be, the metal coated seed will become magnetized and be taken out and turned to the bottom. Clean seed coming out here. About 300 to 500 pounds an hour is what the literature says. There's not much instructions, but about 2 paragraphs on running the machine. A lot of it will come by trial and error. We have a water tank here, and then when we're ready to start, we'll start recording again. Okay, we have reached the hopper. We now are debucking. Everything is on, entering the hopper. I thought it would fill this hopper and slowly meter it out, but it actually stays ahead of it at this speed. And as you can see from the wear marks where the paint's wore off the hopper, that's what it's done all its life. I was just under the impression this would fill up a little more, but it stays right ahead of it, so it works real good. Here we have the clover on the shaker pan being gently fed over the rolls, and as it cascades over those, it comes down. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in here, but right there at the cutoff is where you'll see the buckhorns being stuck. Because this ain't a high contaminant, there's not a lot of them there. Basically, you have 2 cascading drums. This one picks up anything that might have been missed, plus some of the fine powder, and collects it in a bucket underneath. Second drum just picks up anything the first drum might have missed, drops it out here, bottom of the bucket, and you just have some fine iron powder. There does need to be a vibrator put on here, which we probably will do. This is iron powder and some clovers and buckhorn that might have been missed. There, you won't get it all 100%, but to get a pure seed out the other end, you'll lose a little bit. This can be reclaimed in as seconds if you would take the time to sift out the fine powder and then rerun it through the machine. Another aspect I didn't talk about was the fact that the magnets are adjustable. By a pipe wrench right here, you can turn the magnet inside the drum as to where it will pick up on the drum. You can bring it, right now we have it picking up about right down here, but you can bring it up, but the more you bring it up, the more clover seed will come out at your buckhorn end. And so they are adjustable as to the fact that if you need them further up or down, that gives you adjustability. You don't adjust them that much. Once they're set, and depending on what you're using in your contamination probably is the deciding factor on when you want to adjust them. This one is picking up about here also. Back here at this trough, this is a vibrator. After the magnet drops it, it brings the coated buckhorn seeds out here. We have them right here, completely coated with iron, so everything's working good. We have a right mixture. The idea is to achieve not much iron powder on the final seed, so we're still learning like everyone else. But it's working good. Yesterday we had a high percentage of contaminant. Today I don't foresee that being a big deal. We'll go now around and look at the magnets. This also reclaims iron powder to reuse in the system, which then allows you to cut back on this feeder here because you're recirculating your iron powder. As I was saying, the first drum here drops the buckhorn onto the shaker tray, which then proceeds to the back of the machine. Your buckhorn comes out in a 5-gallon bucket, and it sifts out iron powder and recirculates it through. This is where the final product is. It appears to be buckhorn free, and we'll keep testing it throughout as we work. And we collect it here, and because it's a slow process, we're just hand bagging it. Whereas if you had a lot of it, we would be having it over a bagging bin and start bagging when we're finished. From yesterday's run, this is the bag of buckhorn, pure iron-coated buckhorn. It now has dried overnight, so some of the iron powder comes off in your hands. This actually could be reclaimed if you wanted to take the time to rub it and get your iron powder back. It depends on the economics of it and so on.